Welcome to Community, the TV show. I'm Lucy Rubley, and I will be guest hosting today for Annette Sherman. And I have a question for all of our viewers today. What do you suppose Taylor Swift, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga, and Sandra Bullock all have in common? Well, besides the fact that these people are successful actors, they were all bullied growing up. And today, they are using their acting skills and public speaking skills to get beyond their childhood experiences of being bullied. Unfortunately, bullying is a widespread problem, and it can take a toll on everything from your physical to your mental well-being. Recent studies have shown that 1/3 of all students, which is about 13 million people, are bullied each year. It is not your fault, and nor are you alone. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Knowing what is right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right." And today we will talk about how this quote has been integrated into an international program, which is called Act Up to Stop Bullying. We will get some insight as to how that program uses acting and public speaking to stop the bullying, but at a much younger age, and how it enables children to not only know what's right, but to act on that. You will see a short performance by Drama Kids International, which is an after-school program committed to stop bullying, using drama and fun in educational workshops to teach children how to recognize and properly respond to bullying. Our first guest today is Tamara Solemn, who is the director of Drama Kids of Manasota. Welcome, Tamara.
Thank you.
We also have with us today Zachary Fitzpatrick, a Drama Kids alum, and he now teaches school throughout the Sarasota and Manatee counties. Good to have you here,
It's great to
Zachary.
be here. Thank you.
Now, I think we'll start with Tamara.
Great.
You have a very extensive drama background.
Oh, well,
If you'd like to
thank you.
tell us about that.
Sure. Well, I started, like many children, when I was 16 doing musical theater. I did dance. And then when I went to college, I was a major in theater. I went to Occidental College in Los Angeles. I did a junior abroad at University of East Anglia. So I got to also do some film studies while I was over there. And of course, I've performed both locally at the Players and Venice Theater. I just recently did the Bikinis. I got to play a gal who did 60s and 70s songs and 50s songs.
Ooh-wee.
Named
Fun.
Carla. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've done Manatee Performing Arts Center. So I have performed locally as well. And also, obviously, I am the director of Drama Kids of Manasota.
Okay.
And I'm also teaching now at Sarasota Academy of the Arts as their middle school drama teacher.
Awesome. Excellent.
Thanks.
Good to have you here. And Zachary, you're an alum
I
of
am,
Drama
yes.
Kids. Would you like to tell us a little bit about how you got started and at what age?
So I started at Drama Kids when I was 5 years old. My dad put me in the program to help me build up my self-confidence skills. And at the time, Drama Kids it was a fairly new program. It'd only been in Sarasota for 2 years at the time. And just with my time in Drama Kids, it was phenomenal. I made so many great friends, and Miss Tamara and her family has become almost like a second family to mine. And we've been through so much together, and she's really helped me grow and mature as a person as well.
Oh, excellent. Now, it taught, you had said in your statements in your paperwork that Drama Kids taught you public speaking skills.
It did, yes.
And how so? And then what has happened since you've learned all of the skills that they taught you?
So when it comes to public speaking, Drama Kids, we focus on empowerment through speech. And so we always love to practice exercises which help you not only with confidence, but your speaking abilities, whether it's projection or articulation. And what we do is we have the students do many different plays as well to help them get used to being in front of an audience and being in front of people. So that way When you're just going up and doing public speaking, it's much more easier on yourself because you've been on stage before, you've been in front of people before, and more importantly, you've been around your peers, and so you know how to present and carry yourself when it comes to giving a presentation, whether in school or on a stage.
Okay, very good. And Tamara, why drama?
Drama gives the children opportunities to act out in many different formats. So if they're given the opportunity to confront a situation, maybe it's a funny situation like you're going to see with the Noisy Office. They are learning to use their spontaneous speaking abilities. They're learning to bring language in to express themselves and their emotions. So sometimes we'll do something funny and that'll connect to their emotions. Sometimes it might be something more serious. And again, the more they're given the opportunity to practice that in a dramatic format, then when something like that happens in real life, they already have the verbal skills to be able to confront the situation. So it really gives them that extra little nudge when they have to be able to get up and maybe defend a friend in a situation, or tell a teacher something has happened, or even just include somebody who's being left out.
Oh.
So when they get to practice that dramatically, that does translate. And that's a skill. I tell people they don't have to be an actor. They don't have to go on and perform or be on television. The skills that we teach are life skills.
Okay, and you mentioned the Noisy Office.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, and then we're going to show our viewers.
Oh, great. So part of our speech exercises is doing a verbal dynamics piece. So throughout the year, they're working on projection, articulation, volume control, expression, being able to tell a story using words and being understood. And then the last few weeks of the first half of the year, we work on a thing called verbal dynamics. So they're modulating their voices using pace and pitch. They're being able to use sound effects with their voices. They're being able to use character voices. And so what you're going to see is a piece called The Noisy Office. And so the children in it are not only portraying a boss and a repairman and someone working on a keyboard or answering a phone like a receptionist, they're also doing the sound effects that you would hear in an office. So they're being a coffee machine going glub, 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 or they're being a copy machine that you'll hear them really loud. So it's a very creative way, sort of like a choral poem that tells a story.
Oh, wonderful. Well, why don't we take a look at that right now?
Tick 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 tick. There's the ringing of the phone. Respond, please, Samantha.
Give copies to the team. I would if I knew how to work the machine.
Your turn to use it. Your turn to use it. Just my rotten luck. We're nearly out of toner and all the paper stuck.
There's the clacking of the staplers.
Click clack, click clack.
There's the gurgling of the coffee machine.
Glub glub, glub glub.
dozen times until you get it right.
Tick, 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 tick. Someone fix this broken machine or we'll be here all night.
I'll fix it. The cords are mixed up and that's a little unscrewed. That's stuff, and that should fix it.
That'll be $600, sir. How about $450?
Deal.
Thank you. Have a nice day, sir.
Tap, tap, click, clack, gurgle, gurgle, ring. Tap, tap, click, clack, gurgle, gurgle, ring. Bang, bang, shout, shout, whistle, whistle, ping. Bang, bang, shout, shout, whistle, whistle, ping. Click, clack, gurgle, gurgle, ring. Bang, bang, shout, shout, whistle, whistle, ping. Bang, bang, shout, shout, whistle, whistle, ping. Noisy office drives me mad. There must be a solution. I know. I'll buy a pair of earplugs and stop this noise pollution.
Wow, that was very, very just breathtaking. It is so inspirational and it just encompasses so much.
Right.
I see how you are talking about the verbal dynamics. So when you were going through the program, Zach, and talk about the verbal dynamics, what did that do for you as a child?
So for me, it just really helped me with being able to express myself, and especially as someone who loves to work with younger children, it really helps there because knowing how to do carry yourself and do different voices can really help a situation, whether to defuse something that's going wrong or to help break the ice with something. You know, you can do something like if someone's being mean, like, hey, you need to stop that. Or if you're talking with a little kid, hey, how you doing? You know, come on, come play with us. So it's really fun to do.
Okay, how has it helped you? Where in your direction in life?
So with me, I'm wanting to, right now, I'm wanting to go into pediatric nursing. And so Drama Kids has really helped me because I know I can go up and not only just present myself in front of the people like my teachers and my fellow classmates and eventually even the boards, but even when it comes to working with people and children, just knowing how to interact with them in a way that's fun and that's fun and caring. And because when someone's sick or in the hospital, you know, they're already in a bad mood, and so being able to lighten that mood and make them happy is really great. And they say that laughter is the best medicine too.
Oh, yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, when you were in the program for 13 years, where did the bullying start? Do you remember that at an early age?
I remember being bullied a little bit in elementary school. I had a bit of a speech problem where I couldn't say my THs very well.
Okay.
And that caused a lot of bullying with my class, and definitely with Drama Kids, it helped me not only to get over that little bit of, I almost want to call it, what do you say, like a speech impediment kind of?
Yep, yeah.
It not only helped me to get over that, but to be confident when I'm speaking, because so often when kids are teased and bullied about the way they speak, it can cause a lot of children to shut down and not want to talk at all.
Yeah.
So Drama Kids definitely helped me with being able to know that it's okay to express myself
Right.
and that, you know, these things are good to overcome.
And to accept our differences.
Exactly.
And they make us who we are. So, and what about you, Tamara? How did you get into the ACT UP to Stop Bullying program?
Well, that was a program that was developed a couple years ago by, I believe, by our Drama Kids in our national program here in the United States.
Okay.
So it is an international program in 17 countries and over 50,000 students
Yes.
internationally all over the world. But about let's see, I've been with Drama Kids for 18 years, and I believe it came to the United States 20 years ago. And in the last couple of years, we've been branching out and doing new things, and we found that the Act Up to Stop Bullying was going to be a really great way to present a specific program that could help all schools, not just, we're not just teaching acting, we're teaching children how to respond to situations and use the right verbal communication skills so that when they're in a situation, they can click into, oh, I remember I learned that in the Act Up to Stop Bullying. So this is something we have been submitting to different schools in the area. And of course, if the school principals or PTOs are interested, they certainly can contact us and we can bring it into their school for 3rd and 5th graders is the
It's
focus.
from 3rd grade to 5th grade.
The focus is 3rd to 5th grade. Yeah.
Okay, and why not beyond that?
The curriculum is written for that age group, and we certainly can enhance it for middle schoolers.
Okay.
The younger school as well, we have a set curriculum though, and we find that the 3rd to 5th grade group is a really good group because they haven't quite gotten into middle school yet,
Right.
but they're at the point where they're really able to absorb some of the actual statistics and information and understand and be able to act out the scenes that we have prepared for them to do.
Okay.
So.
And how does that benefit?
Being able to, if they're able to, so for example, we have introductory activities and we have speech exercises and we have little scenes. So for the introductory activities, we would be creating a scene where they have to empathize with a situation. Give them an example of, your friend is left over in the corner and wasn't invited to the party. So your starter line is, hey, Susie, what's wrong? So if they can connect through empathy, that's one thing, and they have to use their improvisation skills. Then they might have a speech line, which is, hey, stop that. I don't want to go with you, or I don't want you to talk to me that way. And if they're verbalizing and they're practicing, then when they're in the actual situation, if it occurs, they're not afraid and they don't have to go looking for the words. They're already there because they practiced it.
Yeah. And it is amazing because as small children, as toddlers, the first thing toddlers want to do is just kick and and not use their words. And so I suppose to teach these children at an early age to open and verbalize how you're feeling is very important. And Zach, you go all over the Sarasota and Manatee County area and teach. And what do you find with the kids? Are they receptive to the program?
Most of them are, yes. You always have those few kids that, they may be, too shy to really speak out, or the ones that are, set in their ways and they take a little bit longer to help mold into becoming more accepting and a better person. But I know that a lot of it too, it's psychological depending on what happens in the past or what at home, but I do know that deep down, all children, they want to become better people, and they want to open up, and they want to treat their friends better, because as a golden rule, treat others the way you want them to treat you. And I know that nobody wants to be bullied and no one wants to be treated terribly. And if I do know that with those kids who may bully or may be harder to open up to, when they're shown kindness and compassion and empathy, it can really change them around.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. And we need programs like this. I think our children are counting on us in the schools. And when I grew up, they didn't have these types of programs. And even bullying wasn't brought up a whole lot. And of course now, in the age of computer, we have cyberbullying. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, in our program, we talk about there's like 4 types of bullying. There's verbal bullying, there's emotional bullying, there's physical bullying, and of course now we have cyberbullying. And all of those things are things that deeply affect children. And we know that many times children won't go to an adult and tell them this is what is going on. And so it really does fester and affect them emotionally. Being able to address this and being able to explain to kids, this is actually what is going on and this is not okay. And one of the worst things is to be a bystander. So when you're seeing someone who is being bullied, not knowing what to do, it can, keep the situation continuing. And what we find is if a child is a bystander in a situation and they speak up for that other child, that bullying stops almost immediately. So that's really important.
And I think that would be one of the most difficult positions to be in as the bystander. Because we see just as adults, if something happens and there's a crime on the street, or most people want to walk the other way.
Right, right.
How do you influence this that you need to stand up and be there with them, Zach?
So one thing, kind of like we were saying earlier, is just to get them to interact and recognize the situation. You know, since we live in the cell phone generation, everyone just wants to stop and record versus actually getting in there and doing something. So definitely when we do these exercises, we have the kids recognize the situation and get involved, and we have them come up with different ways that they can defuse the situation and help the person who is being bullied or anything else that's going on. Because, you know, we want them to have the tools to be able to recognize, diffuse, and take care of a situation quickly, and also to let them know that if there's nothing that they can do, get someone who can, get an adult who can come and help. You don't necessarily have to do it by yourself, but just make sure, you know, you're doing it, you know, so they're safe and you're safe as well.
Right. Wonderful. Now, these children that you have in your workshops, is there any typical child, or are they just all from different backgrounds? They come from many reasons.
Yeah, our children in our programs right now are, our regular program right now, parents just sign them up for the regular Drama Kids program. The workshops, it's up to the principal or the PTO to determine who's going to come in for that and designate that. But like I said, 3rd through 5th graders. So we should have, kids who've never been bullied and kids who are like, why am I having to be here? And that sort of thing.
Sure.
So it's a little bit different. So the regular Drama Kids would be, parent enrolled.
Right.
And then the workshop would be up to the principal in the schools.
And if one of our viewers is out there and would like to find out more about Drama Kids International, is there a phone number?
Sure.
Or,
Yeah, Drama Kids, our local website is www.dramakids.com /FL1.
Okay.
And that's to me. But like we were saying, Drama Kids is all over the United States. So the local one is here, and we have about 350 students in our Sarasota Manatee area.
Wow.
With 23 classes and about 8 teachers who go in and out of schools to do our Drama Kids program.
And I know Zach is one of them.
Yes.
Are there any other alums that do this, or how do you become a teacher if you're not an alum?
Well, you can apply online or email me for the link.
Okay.
But we also are always looking for really motivated people who want to work with children. They do have to pass a background check because they're going into the schools because of the Jessica Lungford Act. So we make sure all of our teachers are safe. We like teachers who have not only a background in theater, but really classroom management skills, who obviously love working with children. That has to be the number one thing in all my teachers, that they just love working with children.
Right.
So some of our teachers, like I have my teaching director, Barb Wolf, she's a preschool teacher, but she actually went to school for biology. But her children both perform at Manatee Performing Arts, and her daughter is going to school for musical theater. So they're a whole theater family that have been part of our program now for like 7 years.
Committed people. You're
Exactly.
very committed.
Very
That's
committed.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Zach, how many classes do you teach?
So I teach 6 classes, and I do help out with Miss Tamara's acting academy. So I'm involved with 7 classes.
Wow. Plus, you're a student.
Yes.
At University.
No, State College of Florida.
State College of Florida. Okay.
yes.
And what do you plan on doing in the future with your degree?
So I plan on, as I was saying earlier, I want to become a pediatric nurse because I love working with children, and both my parents were in the were in the medical field. My mother is a labor and delivery nurse at Sarasota Memorial. She's been there for over 20 years.
Wow.
And my father, he was a firefighter paramedic, and now he works at Universal Studios as one of their paramedics.
Fabulous. Wow, that's exciting. Very exciting. Tamara, we have a couple minutes left, where do you see yourself in Drama Kids International going in the next 10 years?
Well, like I said, I've been doing Drama Kids now since, this is my 18th year as working with Drama Kids and my 16th year as the director. So my children both grew up in Drama Kids. They're both in college now. One is studying musical theater, one is an English major at New College, and she's actually writing her thesis, and it's going to be a play.
Oh,
So,
all
so
right.
they've kind of taken on the theater bug as they've moved on. And obviously, I'm still teaching with SAA as well. I can't ever see myself not working with children and being able to impact children. When I was growing up, my dad said, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I was in high school, and I remember just being really angsty, and I was so frustrated, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I said, "I just want to play." And that's what I get to do.
Excellent. Wow. Well, thank you, Tamara, and thank you, Zach, for being with us today. It's been a very educational experience. The children were wonderful. And if you want more information on Drama Kids International, please visit their website, which is dramakids.com/Florida1FL1. And the phone number is 941-922-8121. It's been a wonderful show, and thank you so much for being here with us. We're going to close the show with some videos from Drama Kids International.
The time really flew. We bid you adieu from community. If you want to know why we love it here, so check out Community. Well, it's a who's who, a what's, when, and where show. It's a mover and shakers who care show. Meet your neighbors and friends, each one has a passion. The topics vary from nature.